up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's your boy, Steve, from A Reptile I Am and Show Me Reptiles. So today we have kind of a special guest coming on, generally speaking. We have Victor, and without further ado, no better time than now to go ahead and bring him out. So I made him a little bit something special, dude. And I tell you what, scoping out his page to get the content and stuff for his little intro kind of made me a fan, dude. You guys tell me.
It's showtime!
Woohoo!
Let's go!
Yes.
Bro. What is up, Victor? Dude.
What up? I love the intro. I was watching, I was like, some good pictures in there.
I can see you down below, and I can see you kind of bobbing and getting into it. And that's the whole reason that I like to do that stuff, man. I like to make it something special because we appreciate you coming on. And it was a crapshoot. I'm embarrassed to say it. And I was telling you that backstage that, man, how did I not know who Vexotic Me was? And it's because you're so far out on the other side of the United States.
Right.
But when I started looking, I was looking at the shows coming up, and I saw your name on the Boise Show Me show. And I was like, well, it's time to do a spotlight. And I selected your name, dude. And I was like, let's take a look. And I was like, good Lord. Good Lord. So at first I thought, even looking behind you right now, I'm like, this is an arachnids guy, right? And then it started going deeper, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. You got my attention when I started seeing the Asian rat snakes. That's kind of a pet project for me. And I'm like, wait a second. That was a blue beauty. That was a cave dweller. I know what time it is, dude. Who is this guy? And then there's the alligator.
That one's not mine, unfortunately.
Huh?
That one's not mine, unfortunately.
Well,
but
the fact of the matter is, you're animal eccentric, animal enthusiast, much like myself. So, with that being said, I'm going to kind of stop fanboying on you here, brother, and let you take the mic and tell all of our viewers who you are and a little bit about yourself, dude.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I definitely focus on arachnids for the sole reason that they take less space, less maintenance, and it's easier to keep. So for that reason, I end up having a lot more arachnids than reptiles. But I do love my snakes. I'm a big Asian rat snake guy. I like big colubrids. So I work with blue beauties. I got eggs incubating right now, actually. Cave dwellers, Thai beauties. I like the mandarins. I have a pair of mandarins as well. False water cobras just hatched. But then I also love boas. As I said, I'm from Brazil. So I grew up relocating boas in the wild. So I have several different species of boas. I just produced some pairters, true constrictors, and then arboreal stuff, corallus. I mean, this is my favorite is like corallus caninus, the emerald tree boa. So, and then I also love my monitors and my frilled lizards, which I'm also working on breeding. So, yeah, I'm a little bit all over, but
I love it, dude. I love it because I'm the same way. We have a lot of arachnid stuff. We've got a lot of geckos. We've got turtles. We've got snakes, various species of snakes. And it just continues to grow because you're like, hey, you know what? Okay, I've got this figured out. Let's bring this on now. Let's bring this on. So I love what I was seeing. I absolutely like I said, I geek out on the Asian rat snake stuff. And it's funny that you mention large colubrids, because I got to take just a second here and we got to pay some bills, and I got to roll this for all the colubrid fans out here, bro. I hope you like this. This is the first time it's been ran too.
What's Colubrid Fest?
What?
You understand now?
Be self-Pharrell. I'll see you there.
I wish I
Oh,
could go.
bro.
I've been wanting to check Colubrid Fest, but
So
it didn't work out yet.
yeah, last year it went off, dude. I had a lot of family issues going on, and unfortunately I wasn't able to make it. And I'm gonna have to lose an appendage to not be there. I'm so excited. Colubrid only expo. I've never been to an expo like that before. And then some of the people that are gonna be there, man. Like, I'm stoked, dude. I'm stoked. I go to a lot of these shows, and you don't see a lot of the Asian colubrids and things like that.
Right.
And for me, and to each their own. But for me, I try not to bring native species in. There are a few that I have my eyes on, but as of right now, I don't have anything that's native across the United States. And that's just kind of my preference. If I was going to do it, I want to bring something that people don't see all the time. The problem is you don't see them all the time. So expanding that collection out and things like that, it can be tricky. It can be difficult. So being able to walk into a place, and I'm hoping to see multiple mandarins. I love mandarins. I've got an exanthic mandarin and quite a few other little mandarins. And just what an exceptional snake.
I still stick with the blue beauties more than the mandarins, just as a matter of size. Um, I showed Mickey because I think I was in a, I don't know if it aired out, but we did a podcast where I showed one of my blue beauties. Um, and I have a male that's like 10 feet, which is in person the biggest blue beauty that I've seen. And I love that snake. Blue beauties, I think they're so elegant. They're always on display. They love to climb. I just love them. And I mean, and if people are concerned about their behavior and whatnot, I always tell them about the Taiwan beauties, which even though they're the same species, they're literally just a different subspecies. The Taiwans tend to be a lot more mellow than the blues. But I've been working with the blues for like 5 years or so now. Um, and I introduced a lot of people to them. And I mean, of course, not a beginner snake, not a like super friendly
No.
snake, even though they can be. If you raise them handling and all that, they're fine. But I usually describe them to people as a giant corn snake with an attitude. That's it. And you can learn how to handle them and not get bit. It's something I learned, like not restraining them, but just kind of like holding them closer to the neck. They don't usually turn around and bite you like other snakes, like boas and stuff, where if you hold them by the head, they're gonna turn around and get your hand. They usually do the launching type of strike. So if you don't give them that sort of range, and don't point into your face, of course, you should be fine.
Yeah, and so I saw something that was wild because I'm in the same realm as you, and we've got quite a few of the blue beauties. Right now, my biggest is coming in probably just a little more than 8.5 foot. Um, but she's coming along really good, starting to thicken up just a little bit for what kind of species it is.
Hmm.
But it's just like you said, keeping it away from the face. That's the main thing because there's a lot of bluff. There's a lot of bluff. They're gonna posture. And I have a couple that when they posture, it's a good idea to give them a minute or change your approach. So a lot of times
Yeah.
that's what I do is change my approach. But once you get them out, if you understand, it's like you said, it's not a beginner snake. I think it's good for people to understand being able to move and dance with the snake is what I call it. Just by moving the animal like this, it kind of messes with the equilibrium a little bit, and they'll
Hmm.
focus on something different. So, like you, I do a lot of that stuff with them until I get them looking the other direction, and then we're good to go. But I will say this. I saw something a couple months ago that freaked my wife out, and somebody had two blue beauties, and they were on the back of an F-350 standing. And he was what he said he was 6'3", and he was holding them up like this, and they went all the way to the ground, and they were saying they were over 12 feet, and they were the biggest that I have ever, and they were thick. They look like tanks. Freaked my wife out.
I think
Stoked
I've
me.
seen that. Um, I mean, without an accurate measurement, there's angles, like pushing the snake forward to look bigger than where you are, right? So I'm not gonna say it's not real or it's not that. I do believe they can get like massive, um, but definitely not a common thing. Um, on just adding on another note as in handling them. Also, whenever you open the tank, you're gonna like reach to them or something. You never like touch them, like hesitate. Whatever I do is just like open, grab, grab them out.
Yeah.
They're like they don't even realize what's going on. Because if you give them a chance, they'll curl, they'll hiss, they'll open their mouth, they'll do the whole thing. So just grab them right away. Don't give them time to react, and you're good. And also, I always recommend them for people that want to work with venomous snakes, just so they could work on the reflexes and the dodging
Uh-huh.
skills.
And another approach that I have when I'm coming in for them is, especially if they're being defensive, I'll come flat like this over the top of the head and then come down straight down on the head.
Hmm.
Um, and as long as you're watching your positioning, once your hand is there, they can't see you, and mine kind of mellow out so that I can, but it's like you said, you can't hesitate. Don't give them time to
Right.
think about it. And a lot of times I already have them out, and then they're turning around like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?"
And they're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
But I
Yeah.
like to get mine out, and I take them outside. I don't ever let them down, but I definitely take them out for some oxygen. I just love getting them out like that. And that's how I like to socialize the snakes with myself. But I don't. I have taken the beauties to a couple of the high school events that we've done for like the zoology classes. But like you were saying, it's not exactly a beginner snake. But that doesn't mean you have to be an all-time experienced. But
Mhm.
it's funny that you mentioned the venomous, because that is actually the reason that I got into them, was just for I wanted a really long snake, and it doesn't get super big, but
Yeah.
it's like a prize fighter. It's like a 185 pounder ready to go. And I chose the right species to work with because it has indeed changed my handling. Absolutely changed my handling, because I came from ball pythons, and unfortunately that doesn't count. You know, it really doesn't count. And I'm sorry. I'm still a ball python guy for all the ball python people. But the fact of the matter is, don't hypnotize yourself that you're doing something, because there's levels of education when it comes to the snakes and the reptiles, and there's just a sliding scale. Ball pythons are super, super easy. Don't be naive.
Yeah. You cannot like build all your knowledge based on one or two species and experiences, you know. Like, another one, since you like the colubras that I love working with, is false water cobras. I love them. They're crazy, but you just gotta learn when and how to deal with them.
Do you do it? So I also am big on the Asian king rat snakes. Do you dabble with those at all? Speaking of a large colubrid.
I've never had the pleasure to. I'm not opposed to. It's just like I don't know. Just never had the opportunity to work with them
Have
much.
you ever
I
held one and felt it?
I don't think so.
That's what got me. That's what
I
got.
I just felt so in love with the archery office. Like the cave dwellers are so amazing, so gorgeous. Um, so I and also their colors, like the Taiwans, the black and yellow, the blues with all that pattern. I just love their look, their behavior, their body shape a lot. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And dude, you know what? I feel like we could do this, because right now I'm just personally asking you the questions that I want to ask you because you're interesting. So
Of course.
what better stuff? Maybe that's what the audience is thinking too. So that's kind of what I'm doing. But so you're going to the Boise show, right?
Been doing that show for a few years now. Yeah. I always go to Boise. I love everyone there. Everyone's always so nice. It's always a good show. Um, and I know I'll see like a lot of regulars, like a lot of people that come back to me, and yeah, no, I just love everyone there. And I mean, compared to other shows, it's a smaller show compared to other shows that I do, but still, it's always been great for me. Never had a bad experience. Always satisfied.
Yep. And you know, the nice thing about that is, so some of these smaller shows, dude, I went to a small show, I left with a mata mata turtle. You don't just find that stuff anywhere. Some of these small shows, there you can find the diamond in the rough. You really can. So everybody's got cool stuff these days. And that's what
Hmm.
I've learned traveling around to all these various states. It's dangerous no matter where you are if you have the reptile addiction. So, what kind of stuff are you going to be bringing with you to Boise that people are going to be able to see?
Well, tarantulas, lots of them, from the more common ones, beginner friendly, to some crazy rare ones. I love true spiders, so I love my funnel webs. I'll have them. I love trapdoors. I also have them. Six eyes and spiders. Like mm, I love tarantulas, but I also like weird stuff, like unusual stuff. Like these
Yeah.
guys, the Australian huntsmans. I'll have them in there. Uh, Absolutely one of my favorites. I think everyone should have one or two of those. Um, and of course, I'll bring snakes as well. I know I'll bring some sand boas. I know I'll bring Blue Beauty. I know I'll have a Baron's Racer, Dumeral's boa. My carpet dinner hatch yet. I'm not gonna have false water cobras available yet because they just hatched. I need to get them a few mules. They're about to shed actually. Uh, what else? Gonna probably have some feeders too. A little bit of everything.
Not to put you on the spot, but do you have an animal or two that you can pull out and show that'll be available at the show? And he went with tarantula. Let's see it.
Not a tarantula.
Mm.
I mean, I showed this in podcasts before. It's just like you cannot go wrong with this, guys. They're easy, they're impressive, they're chill.
Oh yeah. Now, is that one going to be available at the show, Victor?
No, this is one of my big girls.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
so she's a breeder. She stays here with me. I'll have young ones available. Um, and you guys can get it. I just like to show her for reference. Oh, the camera is on the other side. But just for size reference and to show how easy they are to handle. And despite being a huntsman spider, they're not crazy fast like the Asian species. So this is the Australian huntsman. This
Is
is the
that the
Hokoya
one?
Marinus.
Is that the one in the picture next to your tattoo that I saw?
Yes,
Yeah.
this,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's where my tattoo is based on, right here.
that's cool, dude.
That's how much I like him. This is the only spider I have tattooed so far. And,
Yeah.
very easy to handle, very easy to take care of. She
Oh,
likes
that's
it.
perfect, dude. That's perfect, bro.
No, and then when people ask, poop, she just shoots some poop. I don't know if you
I
guys saw it.
saw that.
It's all the movement got her bowels going. But and also when people ask, like, they see the babies, they're like, how big they get? I'm like, this big. And they look creepier than tarantulas, but they're so much better to handle. They don't have the urticant hairs, and they're lighter, and they get a good grip. Like, I never recommend people handling tarantulas, just because of the spider safety. They're like a jelly blob, so if they fall, they will die. They'll pop and die. Now, these guys, they're kind of built for the height, so way safer for the animal. They got a good grip. They're light, so I love them.
That's cool, dude. I think I may have to get my daughter a couple of those because she's the one that does tarantulas.
Yeah, yeah, I love my tarantulas, but like I said, if I can get something that's weird and different, I sure will. She's in my
That's
back. They'll
awesome.
be hanging out there for a while.
That's awesome. How many do you have? Not babies, but
Okay.
like the huntsman.
Oh, the huntsman? Well, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't keep
Hey,
track.
hey,
Uh,
that's a good it is a good question because people ask me that about the reptiles and the snakes, and I'm like, I'm not sure.
yeah, just to put in perspective, also like on how easy it is to care for things. When people ask like how many animals do I have or whatnot, considering my inventory, my personal, all that, I'm like probably around a couple thousand inverts, like between spiders, scorpions, tarantulas. Around the hundreds on snakes. Sorry, like between 102 now that I'm gonna have babies hatching. Um, and well, I just got some new lizards, but like 10 lizards or so. That shows you how easy it is to take care of them. Like you can take care of 1,000 spiders, 100 snakes, but like snakes are gonna be more work, more space. And lizards are gonna be usually even more work and more space because they eat more often, they poop more often, they're more active and all that.
That's awesome. So I do have one final question for you, Victor. Uh, so you told me that you moved to the United States in 2019 from Brazil, um, and then our story kind of went off that direction.
Hmm.
When did your animal passion start for you? Were you young? Was it?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was a little kid, I was obviously the dinosaur kid. So first thing I wanted to be growing up was a archaeologist. And then I was like, my mom told me, oh, but most of the bones are already dig up and all that. I was like, hmm, okay, I'll be a paleontologist. I'm gonna continue studying what's already dug up. And then probably when I was around 8, 9, I was like out there catching spiders, scorpions, and started interacting like with more life stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll be a biologist. And like, yeah, I told Miki that before. Like, I started collecting things in the wild, like, and that was growing my passion. And I just never stopped. Like, I had rattlesnakes when I was 15, probably. Yeah, it was crazy.
So, and you said that you were catching boas over there.
I
Were
was
you
relocating them, yes.
were you catching the pets that you had growing up from over there, or
Some, yes. So the range that I lived in São Paulo, we had boa constrictor amaralis or amarali, how some people say, whatever. They're known here as the short tails or silverbacks. I Those were my first boas. I also used to relocate them a lot because they would show up at people's house and like, oh, I know he likes snakes, and I'll get him and take her somewhere safe. Um, so I did have a few of those. Um, what else? My rattlesnake, I also rescued it. It was gonna get killed. I was like, all right, you're not home with me.
now what kind of rattlesnakes do they have over there?
My range was the Crotalus durisus terrificus, the neotropical rattlesnake. Um, they are kind of, well, they're very yellowish, yellow, green, brown kind of. Um, Somewhat similar to an Eastern, but more yellow.
That's cool. That's cool. I think I saw one of those out in Texas at the Texas Reptile Expo, as a matter of fact.
I wanted to go to the Texas shows to see all the
Oh
venom.
man, Alexander England was out there. I can't remember if it was him or Rick Tozer, but it was one of those guys that had it. I feel like it was Rick.
I do love my venomous. Um, I would have a lot more if I
How
could, but then
how
they're
old were you when you rescued that rattlesnake? Were you young?
cut 14, 15,
Pretty
16
young.
maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, of
That's awesome, dude.
course my parents were not happy about it. So I kind of had to hide it under my bed for a while and lock my room. Like, yeah,
Well, I mean,
I'm gonna relocate it. I'm gonna relocate it. And I was
how
like,
could you have been any safer, dude? You had a rattlesnake under your bed. Who's gonna mess with you, bro?
yeah,
So
yeah. Eventually, my parents gave up, and they're just like, lost cause. It's not gonna change.
he's not gonna stop.
Nope.
Yeah, he's not gonna stop. So I am going to go ahead and plug this. So I had talked about Colubrid Fest. Tomorrow on the same channel here, we have the Show Me Show with me and Mickey. We will be having Clint Bartley on as well and discussing Colubrid Fest. So anybody, you should definitely stop in. This is going to be exciting, dude. September is just packed for the Show Me side of things, man. Colubrid Fest, the Opryland show, just all sorts of really, really cool stuff coming up around the corner. But Victor, I know you're super busy, dude. I'd like to schedule another time to have you on, dude, because like I said, I could do this for a while. Maybe next
Me
time
too.
we try to schedule closer to a full hour or whatever, and you can
I
show.
could talk for hours, and I got plenty to show if you guys give me the time. So
Well, that's
whenever
awesome,
you're
man.
ready.
So we may have to do a Vexotic Me special edition where we just go off. Just go off. So, for anybody that's watching now, we appreciate you tuning in. I would say those people have an opportunity to, when we do the special Vexotic Me edition, I'll shoot them the link and they can come on and BS for 5 minutes with us or whatever. And we'll make a thing out of it, dude. There it is. There it is. Well,
Yep.
hey, brother, I hope I get a chance to come out to the Boise show, but I will be keeping my eye out for you, dude, and it's only a matter of time, and I will be standing in front of your table, man. So I appreciate you coming out. I do want to, real quick, one more time, we got to play the Vexotic Me rounds
It's
here.
showtime!
Woohoo!
Let's go!
Yes.
Yeah, there was just so much character when I went over to Facebook. I hope I did you proud, man, and
Sure
set it
did.
up and brought the energy that I could see in it. I knew that we were going to be people, dude. Just the vibe was all there, Victor.
Oh,
And
I'm
and with that, dude, I'm going to let you go ahead and bounce out, brother. I appreciate you.
see y'all.
All right, guys. So that's pretty much the show here. I am going to run one more thing here that we've got set up. This is going to be a marketplace little promo ad. If you guys don't know about marketplace, it's time to get plugged in. You already know what it is, guys. Peace. I'm out.